Just log into your online banking account.
Actually, sir, what happened? We are getting some alert notification from your computer.
I can give you all your money back, okay? But I want $3,000 from you.
What you are about to watch is a remarkable testament of a 2-year-long scam victim. Susan Kalshoyer was taken over $30,000 from a heartless, thoughtless, careless scammer by a fake named John Kudos, which he posed as a fake tech support agent. Little be known to Susan, the scammer tricked, manipulated and gained Susan's trust. For this scam to take place, the scammers made Susan go into debt, her bank account closed, and her social security money stopped while the scammer is still stealing money. Susan thought there was no hope at all, until 3 scam baiters showed there is hope and hopeless, even in these weird times. Trilogy Media and scammer Payback got together to set up an online GoFund page which touched the hearts of the scam baiters community, and donations poured in, and within weeks on setting up the fund page, they managed to raise well over $30,000 for Susan, which she didn't know.
I know, a little bit sorry. I'm sorry, we're so late.
At that time, I just happened to be looking through a Costco coupon book, and they had that Kaspersky was having a sale on their security internet. Probably toward the end of the year of 2017, I got a call and said that they noticed there was some discrepancy on my computer. Somebody was trying to get in. They were trying to take $20,000 out of my credit card. I said, "You're kidding." And so he had me go into the computer, open it up, and he started doing some diagnostic testing. Well, then he calls me back later on, and he shows me a picture of a guy. He said, "You know this person?" I said, "No." And he said, "This is a guy that's trying to get into your computer." Now that I look back on all this, I know it's just probably a picture they show to everybody just to draw them in. But I had to send money to them so that they can go in and fix it. And then, I kept getting these calls. Someone's trying to get into my IP address, so I had to get, that. Well, then it got to be where the only way they could fix things was for me to purchase the gift cards. And that's how it all started. And then it was just one thing after another.
Was this all John Kudos?
This was all John Kudos. I had 2 credit cards, and one was with Costco, the city, and they got about $16,000 off of that credit card. I had another credit card that was with my San Diego County Credit Union, and I hardly ever used that, so it was the whole amount that I had that I was allowed, and that was $20,000. And of course, every time it was like, "You're going to get the money back. You're going to get it back." Because I was real doubtful. I kept saying, I'm kind of leery about getting these, and he said, "No." He says, "Trust me." It was always, "Trust me. You're going to get every penny back." But in the beginning, he had people sending me money. I probably, in the long run, over the 2 years, probably maybe got about $400. But one of the guys that sent, it was always personal checks from people. And I think it was probably people they strung on that owed them money then, and they would have them send it to me. And one of the checks bounced. And of course, my San Diego Credit Union closed my account off, because when they saw all the gift cards that were on the credit card, they said, "You've been scammed." And I said, "No, I wasn't." I said, "No, I trusted this guy." There's always a promise that you're going to get everything back. Going to get it all back.
Every single one of those people writing checks is also another victim.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because he had one person send me a check for like $3,000, but he said, "You can only keep $500. You have to write a check back." So I thought, well, I'm getting a little bit at a time. So I thought eventually maybe I'll get it all.
So they were using you as an unknowing money mule, basically.
Right, yeah.
They would have you collect victims' money, and then they would, from you, take that, making you think you were getting more back.
Yeah.
What happened with the banks when, why they didn't reimburse you?
Well, basically it's put on me, like I was obviously the idiot that went along with this, and it was they don't put it out as a fraud thing, because I purchased the gift cards, put it on their credit card. So I was responsible.
Did they tell you call police or anything, or make a police report? Why the police was not involved in this?
No, they didn't say anything about calling the police or anything. And they said, we see this all the time, people that are getting scammed. And of course, then they locked out my account. So my pension check was going to that account. My Social Security was going to that account. I thought, how am I going to get that money? So then John Kudos told me, open up another account with Bank of America. We deal with Bank of America. And of course, then I had to contact, where I get my pension and the Social Security and give them a new routing number and all that, And I thought, oh, God, I hated doing that. It made me sick. Bank of America, if you don't keep a certain amount of money in there, they charge you $12 a month. Mm-hmm. So there was money coming out of my check going for who knows what now, So I just couldn't get a break. And of course, then when the check that bounced, I was paying my bills off of that check. So then it was going back to the credit union as a bounced check. They turned it over to their collection agency. So then I was getting calls from the collection agency. So then I had to drum up money to go get a money order so that I could pay it back, which I did, without any problem. But it was my sister that came to my help. She loaned me the money so that I could open up my account back at the credit union. And I can get my pension check and Social Security back into that account. And I closed out the one in Bank of America then. It's embarrassing. You feel like, how could I be such an idiot to do this, And I know other people fall into it too. But, and my older brother, he's got a degree in economics. If he knew that I did, he would flip. Even though my brothers are terrific, my sister, we've always been close. And I think that's the way it is with most families. The sisters are always, that's so. But, I confided in her. I was in tears. I said, I've got to ask you for something. And I said, I need to borrow some money. And I knew she had it. Otherwise, I would never asked her. But she said, what's going on? And so I told her. And so we were both in tears. She goes, oh, my God, Sue. So she gave me the money, and I've actually paid her back half of it already. And she doesn't want me to do the other half until I feel comfortable and with everything. So, but
on the timeline, where does that fit into when then we came in?
Probably close to a year, I would think.
Before?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before you guys came, yeah.
Did you know when you asked her to borrow that money, at that point, did you know you had been scammed 100%?
No, I was still, because I kept telling her about this guy, and I said, I had to do, he wanted me to do this so he could clean up my account, my computer. I always asked him, I said, why is this happening to my computer all the time? He said, well, you're just an easy target. Well, now I realize, yeah, I was, I wholeheartedly believe this guy. And they must put him through a school on how to be so nice to people and reassuring and everything. Yeah, And I really did trust this because I thought he was from the company. And, and I don't look at myself as being a gullible person because I would get phone calls all the time from people like scammers and that, And I would just tell them, I said, no, you're a scammer, and I'd hang up. So I knew what to look for. And I can't tell you how many nights I went to bed, just tears. I kept thinking, oh, God, how am I going to do this? And that's why I finally broke down and asked my sister for help. But there were many nights that I would cry myself to sleep, and I kept thinking, please, I pray, please, God, please, please let John come through with some money, send the checks,
Did you ever think that it would get better, right? You said you're praying.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you ever think it would
get
fixed?
I still had hope. I didn't want to give up.
Fast forward to, this year and everything with us showing up on your doorstep.
Yeah.
The GoFundMe. Can you talk about?
Oh my God.
Just talk about that. How does that make you feel?
Oh God, I tell you, my blood pressure's gone down. I used to have problems with that because I was always stressing. Not having money to pay my bills and that. And it just took a weight off my shoulders. I can't thank you guys enough for what you did for me and for all the people. My God, the nice things they said to me. And when they found out about my dog having surgery, there's so many people who said, how's your dog? Is your dog doing okay?
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, just lovely people, the nice, remarks that they made for me. And they said, don't feel bad. They say, my grandmother had this happen to her, and this and that. They said, don't feel ashamed. Don't, it happens to everybody. I can't thank you enough. I wish I could meet every single one of you and thank you, because you have turned my world around. You really have. And I love you all. I really do. I just couldn't believe that there are so many kind and wonderful people out there that will help people, like myself that have been, scammed. Thank you. And, I just hope it never happens to anybody else. And if it does, I hope they find these people,
I will, I promise.
I hope they all rot in hell. I'm sorry, but,
Don't be sorry.
that's the way I feel.
They're ruining lives.
Yeah. I think if you get calls like this, if they're saying they're with the company that you're been with, I would say, let me call you back. Get a phone number and say, let me call you back. I can't handle this right now. And then call your company or whatever and maybe talk to somebody there to find out whether it was legit or not. And the phone number that I had was one that John gave me, which was connected to him, and it wasn't really to the company. And I wish I would have had a phone number just for Kaspersky to at least call them and find out for sure.
If John Kudos watching,
Uh-huh.
what do you want to say to him?
Come see me, John.
Well, we'll be right there behind you.
I'd love to have a word with you face to face. And I'll tell you what, I'll tear you to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
You won't get out alive, I tell you.
Can you tell the story about when you called me with the PCH Publishers Clearinghouse? What happened there?
Oh,
after
I almost
the GoFund?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a call from this guy, and he gave me his name. But he said, we saw your video, and we were really taken by it. And he said, we want to give you the money. And I think it was like $550,000 or something. He said, normally what they pay, but he said, this money that we have for you was going to go to a person who passed away. So we would like to give you that money now. And I said, really? He said, do you want us to show up at your door with the balloons and the check card and all that, or do you want to keep it private? And I said, yeah, I'll keep it private. Because, see, I was kind of going along with them because I thought, I got to feel this guy out here. All of a sudden, then I had to pay $880 in order to get this $550,000. And he said, do you have that? And I said, no, I don't have that money. And he said, well, you know what? He said, we're in New York. If you came to New York to pick up the check, you wouldn't have to give us the $880. I said, well, I'm sorry, I don't have money for a plane fare, go that. So I was going along with it. He probably thought, oh, yeah, she's digging, she's going for it, And so anyways, after, his big talk and that, I said, let me have your number. I said, I really got to check into this first. And he said, okay. So he gave me the phone number. And of course, I never called him back. And I sent the email to you, Ashton.
Didn't he say something like he was working with us or something? Like, didn't he claim?
Yeah, he said that he knew of the Trilogy, and he said that's where he got my number. And that, yeah. I worked for University of California, San Diego in the medical field for 22 years. And we did billing for the physicians. And I was what they called a lead, which was equivalent to assistant supervisor. I did all the training for all the new girls coming in to help them with the billing. So I never thought of myself as being stupid.
Is there anything else at all that you want to say to anyone or to anything? Or?
Oh, you people, if you know these four guys, Ashton, Art, Pierogi, Brandon, keep them in your prayers. They are doing wonderful things and helping us all. So, we love them all, and I love all of you too.